Um, if I had to ask you, work forward, how would you then describe it? How is it different than other theses or approaches that we've seen in trying to define the world of work?
Well, thanks for that tee up. Why don't I tell you a little bit about that? We see that kind of what we were observing, every company and consultancy had their own point of view on how to make work better or address the future of work. And it's no surprise they would usually, like we're talking about, suggest, oh, my perspective is it's about a collaborative workspace, or it's about a WeWork environment that's flexible, or flexible time. That path to success was not singular unless somebody says, my solution's the right one. So a wider perspective sees it as a common, a shared way of looking at this complex subject of work forward, of work. So improving that business of work, we think, acknowledges that there's a unique context at the personal level, which you can see up in the upper left of the screen, at a team level and enterprise level. And Work Forward is recognizing that relationship that goes among all the activities. And the bottom left of the screen is what we said, the who and the what and the when and the why and the where and the how of work itself. So with that kind of holistic perspective, the Work Forward movement shares and tries to explore and experiment with how do we as leaders, as employees, identify what are the tools and the practices that are going to help us to evolve our work in this new way that we have right now. The assumption is that when you get a broader work forward ecosystem view, workers and companies will be able to see themselves in this world and use it as a path to consider a new strategy, what we're talking about. How do you get there? So last fall, we had a summit. We brought together a bunch of leaders, and they had this collaborative set of activities, and they identified the work forward world, why we work, the measure of better work and how to improve it are the metrics, and how we work. And they had to describe the set of activities. What are the things that we do? You can kind of see those over on the bottom right of the screen. And what are the ways that we can work forward that are going to accelerate the outcomes? How do we make it better? So the four lenses we applied, bottom left, are time, place, materials, and the approach. So time, we're in time shifting right now with remote work and everything else. The place has certainly changed. It's not all coming into an office. It's home, managing, doing everything else. And then what do you need to do that? What is the technology? What are the tools? How do you get there? And we believe actively the approach to work matters. It's that co-creative, collaborative, imaginative way of doing things that's going to do that. So after we all did a lot of yammering together, we said, what are the core principles? So if you landed on the planet of Zytar and they were acting in a work forward fashion, what would you see? And that's also the far right: transparency, work to live, be diverse, communicate, collaborate, have great integrity, evolve, build equity, hold accountability. So ultimately, it's work is social. No one works alone. Those contributions are where you work as a team. Work is very personal. Some people are doing it because they're passionate, because they're workers on the front line. Other ones are doing it to just bring money into their family. How do they succeed in getting that personal meeting? And work is human. Fundamentally, it's the human experience. And that's why we believe so strongly, especially in this crisis, we all have to be fulfilled and have that engagement, get an empathy for how to get there. So at the end of the day, we're hoping this is an open source. Come to the site, that upper right, there's a workforward.co. You could go look at it. It's just beginning, this kind of work forward area. And we have a few tools up there so you can start the conversation. We have a way to get involved. We have a little Slack channel, other things to try to get people to participate in the conversation. We don't own it. We think we all, as a as a human race, own it to ourselves to try to make work a better thing for us.